The 10 plagues have almost played themselves out. The Jewish people are poised to leave the land of Egypt. It's just before the Exodus, about 2 weeks away, on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And Hashem instructs Moshe and Aaron, and he says to them, I want you to tell the Jewish people that today is Rosh Chodesh, today is the beginning of the month, and that they are to prepare in a few days' time the Paschal lamb. They must take a lamb, they must take a goat, and prepare it. And then they're going to slaughter it in the afternoon of the 14th of Nisan, and they're going to eat it that evening. They're going to eat it roasted. It's got to be roasted whole. And they must have it together with matzah and maror, with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. And they must be together with their family. And then the next morning, they will leave Egypt. What does the Torah tell us? What is the Torah telling us here? And it's really something incredibly fundamental. The Jewish people were about to become a nation. And Hashem made them into a nation by giving them mitzvot, by giving them commandments, by giving them duties to fulfill. You know, if we look at the Torah doesn't tell us that much about God. What is God? What does He make? What is the theology of God? There's very little about God in the Torah. But there's a lot about what God expects us to do. That is the way in which we relate to God, to fulfill His mitzvot. So when the Jewish people become a nation, they are given mitzvot. And in fact, Rashi makes a comment right at the beginning of his commentary to the Torah, that really the Torah should have begun here at this point. Because the point of the Torah is that it's a book of instruction, telling us what to do. He then has to give a whole reason why the Torah actually begins with the story of creation. But by all rights, it should have started now, because our raison d'etre, the whole reason why we exist as Jews, is to fulfill the mitzvot of Hashem. And it's fascinating. When a person converts to Judaism, there are a number of different steps. If it's a male, he has to be circumcised. He has to have a brit milah. And both a male and a female convert have to immerse in the mikveh. They have to have complete immersion in the mikveh. But more important and more vital than those two steps, because those are really just physical things that don't require much of a commitment, is Kabbalat mitzvot. Is the convert has to accept upon themselves to do the mitzvot, because that's what it means to be a Jew. And therefore, just at the last moment before the convert goes under the water, they will be asked by the Beis Din, do you accept upon yourself the mitzvot? The mitzvot that we are taught in the Torah, the mitzvot that come from our rabbis. And if the person says, no, I'm not going to fulfill the mitzvot, they'll say, yeah, I'll do all of the mitzvot except one. We cannot accept them. Because being a Jew means to do the mitzvot of Hashem. This is what gives us our whole reason of existence. That is how our nation began, and that is how our nation continues. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.